This episode is brought to you by coffee. When the going gets tough, drink some fucking coffee. Viewer discretion is advised. What's up, everybody? My name is TJ McDevitt.
And I'm Derek Parsons.
And you're listening to Bad Table Manners. This is our first ever episode, and we are operating out of a basement in the town called Weirton, West Virginia, in an undisclosed location. So here's what I don't get. You got all these dumbass kids out there from the Generation Z. They're eating stuff like Tide Pods and snorting condoms, and they're eating fucking ramen noodles out of toilets and shit like that. Sporting man buns, playing with them things called fidget spinners, wearing rompers and all that shit. Like, whatever happened to the good old days, man, where you could just fucking take acid and bug out all the time.
That's what I've been saying. What I was saying earlier is whatever happened to the days of fucking eating handfuls of mushrooms and going to grandma's house.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Like, oh, shit, grandma made some fucking cookies. Move out of the way, man. I'm starving.
Yeah. Come on, grandma.
Exactly.
Give me a ride.
See, I used to love taking acid and stuff like that back in the day, man. When I was when I was in my youth, I was able to do that, and I was able to handle it properly, like now, being that I'm 26 years old. And I'm a father of 4, you know what I mean? So it's like I got too much worry on my hands to be able to sit there and fucking trip on acid and do mushrooms and stuff like that. It just freaks me the fuck out, and I got really bad anxiety and shit. Like, the only high right now that I chase is coffee.
That's a good one.
But
I must say that you only have 4 that you know of so far.
So far, yeah, I probably have a fuking shit ton out there, man. I mean, I am kind of a whore, you know, but
hey.
It's either here nor there, you know. We don't know. But let's just like weave that one out of the conversation for now. We're gonna get back on the topic of acid. So check this out. I remember one time, it was me and a couple buddies, and we were at this undisclosed location in Ohio. And we dropped a couple hits of this acid when we were sitting there taking a drive. And we were listening to some weird-ass Modest Mouse CD, and then we fucking put in Cake's Fashion Nugget, you know?
Nice.
That song, The Distance. He's going the distance.
Nice.
He's going for speed. We were listening to that shit. And we dropped this acid, and then we ended up going to this park. And it was like a castle theme, like medieval theme park. And like I was tripping my fucking balls off, man. And we were like we were running around, man. I was like reenacting skits from the Monty Python's The Holy Grail. I took the stick and I was running around. I was smacking people with it. And they were like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I was like, "It's just a flesh wound. Your father was a hamster and your mother smelled of elderberries."
Oh my god.
That was a good time though, man. And I remember once, like, and that just like throughout the duration of that night, there was this little thing. It was like part of this little castle. It was weird. It's hard to explain, but it was like part of this castle. And it had this little window where you could peek your head up out of. You know what I mean? And everybody's like laying on this like little carousel thing. They're just fucking staring at the sky and shit, all bugging out and everything. And they're staring at this, like, they're sitting on this carousel. And I remember I fucking snuck behind this thing and I slowly fucking peeked my head up. It was like with this like bland look on my face. And I'm just like, I'm ruler of this castle. I swear to God, just everybody started busting out laughing for like 20 minutes. And I remember Ian, he climbed up from underneath there, man. He's like, and he pokes his head up just out of nowhere, man. It was funny as fuck. And like, you know, like in a sober mind, thinking like, oh man, that's fucking, like, that's stupid, you know, that's fucking retarded. Like, no, but like when you're under the influence of fucking psychedelic drugs, man, that's just like the funniest shit ever.
That I would have probably lost it.
Oh man, yeah, dude, it's funny as fuck.
That sounds like a really fun time. See, there's always a positive drug story, of course. But you'll never hear about that. That's so sad. I was reminiscing about the time when I'd taken mushrooms. I don't remember. Undisclosed location. I don't even remember. And we went for a walk. I don't know. It was like dead of winter, wasn't it?
Oh, you talking about the laboratory mushrooms?
Was that what they were?
Yeah, they were laboratory mushrooms because they weren't even in season at the time.
Oh yeah, it was dead winter.
Yeah, I remember.
We went for a walk in the woods. I think there was a couple of us, and
it was me, you, and Debnar, actually.
Oh, was it?
Which Debnar will be featured on the show at some point throughout the duration of the show, so stay tuned for that.
And man, I don't know. I remember. Was I the only one on them?
Yeah, you tried pressuring me into doing them, and I was like, I'd already tripped like a week or 2 before that, and I was just like, I was still kind of fried out on it. So
yeah.
I was like, I don't know, man. I don't want to do that. I've never had lab mushrooms before. I was like, kind of like, I was skittish about it. I was kind of freaking out. So I was like, nah, man, we'll just smoke some pot, dude. And then you ended up just taking them, like a whole handful.
Go big or go home.
Exactly.
And
midday too.
Wow. And So midday, I think the sun was going down a little bit, and it's freezing cold out. There's snow on the ground, and we end up walking in these woods, and I come across a deer carcass. That's
I remember that too.
And just okay. So picture this, if you will. If you remember, what movie was that with Tom Green? Freddy got fingered. Yeah. I had the deer up in the air, like whenever
I gotta get inside the character.
Yeah. So I have this big deer up in the air. I don't know. I think I'm swinging it around, and you were freaking out.
I know. I remember you were like, you had this sincere look on your face. You're like, do you think I'm gonna throw this at you? Like, do you not trust me?
I got real emotional. I thought that he was gonna get pissed at me. I mean, I love you. You know, you're my best friend.
Of course.
And I don't want to. And I take that personal. You know, I don't like to think that people think bad things about me, and especially I'm fucking just taking mushrooms. Like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. So I'm just swinging this deer carcass around. And
it's free, you know what I mean? It's like free in nature. It's like I'm a brute, man, so I'm gonna pick up this dead deer carcass and I'm gonna swing it around. No, I didn't think you were gonna throw it on me, actually, dude. I was just like kind of like, oh my god, like that's disgusting, dude. That thing fucking reeks, man. You know what I mean? But just that look on your face, you were so sincere. You're like, oh.
Yeah, I felt terrible, and I got real emotional. I got real upset, and because it was personal. I thought that you genuinely thought that I would throw a deer carcass on you.
Well, see, I know,
and I would never do that. I don't even think I could do that to anybody, you know, unless somebody else is tripping and we're like, hey, let's play fucking catch with this fucking deer
Here you go, catch this fucking thing. No, see, I know exactly what you mean when it comes to shit like that, because I remember being on mushrooms. It was actually the first time I ever took mushrooms. We were downtown in an undisclosed location. It was me and Jake Stoner, you know, the long hair hippie kid. We were sitting there and we took a bunch of this fucking mushrooms, so we smoked a blunt. It was mushrooms, yeah. We were on mushrooms and we were walking downtown, and I remember we were crossing the street, and then it's like somebody like flew past, and I'm talking, this was like, I don't know, like 12 a night or something like that, but we were tripping the whole fucking night. And like this one chick, she fucking leaned out the car and she's like, get out the fucking road. And I remember we were just trying to get this homeless guy money. And like, I remember, dude, it was, yeah, dude. And I remember getting so emotional about it. I was like, why are people so fucked up, man? It's like, I was just trying to help this guy out, and then you got this person fucking screaming at me and shit. But I guess it just comes with the territory. But that was a good time, man. I remember that same night, dude, like when I peaked, you know, I felt it from like the tip of my fucking head all the way down to my toes, this insane rush, and I was like, man, I just want to get fucking naked right now, dude. And it's like, and then Jake's like, yeah, he's like, I understand what you're saying, man. And he's like, but we're downtown, we'll get arrested. And I was like, yeah, that is true, but it's fucked up, man, that the man's got to keep us down like that. And then we ended up fucking just walking around bullshitting, smoking pot, and then we ended up at the skate park in an undisclosed location. We were standing on this half pipe or quarter pipe or wherever the fuck it was. We were eating Star Crunch, you know, like the candy bar. We were eating Star Crunch. We were talking about how, like, because it was right behind a police station, the skate park. And we were talking about how it's like, yeah, man, like, you know, skateboarding's just all about being free and like anarchy and just living the punk lifestyle. And it's like, and that's why they put it behind the police station, because it's too damn free. You know what I mean? It's like they want to keep tabs on every motherfucker that comes in and out of this place. It was funny, man.
They want to chip all your skateboards.
It was some breakthrough shit, man. That was a fun skate park. I still go there every now and again, and I'll rip up some shit. I'll end up fucking breaking my back too, because I'm too old for that now.
I used to skateboard, but I was not too good at it, honestly. My ankles are double jointed and I'm flat footed, so it's weird. But to try to like get some flips or do the right thing, my ankles were weird. The problem was when I landed, because I was double jointed, like my ankles wanted to roll rather than have sturdy, you know. It's just really weird.
See, I don't have that problem.
Never rollerbladed either. I'm terrible. I'd put rollerblades on like twice, and
I'm good at that. I'm really good at that. I had like the ones that had like 6 like in a row, and then you had the regular traditional rollerblades, the side by sides that only has like 4 wheels and shit. See, but like I'm no fucking Rodney Mullen or anything like that, dude. But I can do the basics, you know. I can ollie, I can land a kickflip every now and again, and then they have a trick called the old school kickflip where you stand off the board and then you flip it up, and then you have to jump and land on it. I could do that shit, but I can't do no pop shove-its or fucking dark sides or anything.
I used to do pop shove-it.
Or yeah, I think that's what's called, the dark slide, wherever you fucking ride up. It's like grinding, but you flip the board and then you do it on the backside, which all these tricks were created by Rodney Mullen, dude. That's why he's a fucking goat.
Yeah,
and he's
right.
like one of my all-time favorite skateboarders next to like Bam Margera. And then Tony Hawk, he's a legend too, man. He was sponsored and basically mentored by Stacy Peralta, which was one of the original Z-Boys out of California.
I haven't heard that name in a while.
Stacy Peralta?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. He's a fucking goat. But Tony Alva, man, he's hands down probably like my favorite. And then, of course, Jay Adams, which they're all the Z-Boys, man.
Hell yeah.
Lords of Dogtown, like that. There's a movie, like, yeah, it's Lords of Dogtown. They made that movie about them. It's got like Emile Hirsch in it, and Johnny Knoxville actually plays in it too. He plays fucking, I can't even remember what the fuck his name is, dude, honestly, but that's kind of irrelevant because he's not really a main character in that movie. And then Heath Ledger.
Really?
Yeah, he plays.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Skip Ingram, or however you fucking pronounce his name. He was like the guy that managed the whole skate team and shit, and was like, you know, got him gigs and stuff like that.
Wow.
It was actually a pretty cool fucking movie. I actually own it on DVD. It's a really killer movie. I remember the first time I ever watched it was me and my brother, and this is like when I attempted to try skateboarding for the first time, dude. I was probably like maybe 13 years old. Tried skateboarding and I fucking busted my ass and gave it up, and it's just like, because I was more into BMX when I was younger anyways, dude.
Yeah, see, so was I.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
it was easier to have a bike than it was to go out and like my parents would give me a bike, and it's like, oh well, I can't just ask for a skateboard.
Oh, dude, I'd be doing some Hoffman style shit on that
They'd
fucking
probably
bike
laugh
too,
at me.
man. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
But me and my brother were watching this movie, like, because I remember back in the day we had DirecTV. And my uncle, somehow, he knew this guy. I don't know if he worked for the cable company or anything like that, but they used to get these cards. Like, and you pop this card in, and you get all the premium channels. Like Stars, HBO, you get all the porn and everything, dude. Like, you got everything. And he would just, like, pay this guy money, so much money, and then he'd give him so many of these cards, and he'd just give them out to everybody in the family. So we never had to pay for pay-per-views. Like, we got to watch all the wrestling pay-per-views and everything for fucking free, dude. I swear to God, man.
Wish I would have been your friend.
I was a pampered-ass kid when I was younger, man. Like, you know, I kind of have, like, a shitty life in a sense,
You and your
know?
pay-per-view privilege.
That's what I'm saying. I grew up kind of poor, man, but, like, my family kind of knew how to cheat the system, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, like, I wasn't deprived of shit like that. That's why I'm, like, real into a lot of different music. I was exposed to a lot of different stuff. That's why I started doing drugs when I was younger, you know what I mean? Just my family, dude. Like, we are the epitome of white trash, but we were like high-end white trash, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I grew up, yeah, high-class white trash, man. I grew up in a trailer my whole life, you know what I mean?
That's my life motto, baby.
But I mean, fuck yeah, dude. Like, we got premium fucking cable for free because my family knows how to cheat the system, and we're so manipulative. I can't even fucking say that. Like, that's a weird word. Manipulative. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a weird word.
Well, you could say manipulative.
No, manipulated. You know, but saying like, oh, I manipulated that guy. But no, yeah, dude. That's kind of how I am now too, dude. I know how to swindle a motherfucker. I don't like to do it that much, but like, you know, I think I'm pretty good. That's why I'm so good at like sales and like when I fucking work in retail and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm good at talking to people. You would think that I'd be nervous and shit like that, but I'm not. And it's weird because being a musician, I'll be fucking I'll be on stage, and dude, I'll be fucking so nervous the whole time, like just jamming on stage and everything, dude. But I mean, I do my thing and I don't fuck up or anything like that. But dude, I have to drink a couple beers or take a couple shots before I even fucking think about going on stage, dude. But
me too. I have to take 2 shots of Jack to loosen me up.
Yeah, and on top of that too, being that I sing and everything, and my voice has so much strain when it comes to the certain songs I like sing. It's like, I have to fucking chase some fucking whiskey down, man, just to open up my vocal cords and stuff.
Yeah, that's true. I wish I had sung or sang more, I should say.
I mean, you can still always get into it because you're still young, you know what I mean?
But I think that anxiety has crippled my if I'm joking around, I can sing. I'll let it belt, keep the key, I'm good.
Oh yeah, like the Shirley's Always Bitchin' bit that you did back
or
in the day.
when I'm singing to McKinley about, you know, I was saying just my daughter, I was like, you smell like poop. So I wrote a 2-minute song about her smelling like poop.
Oh,
man,
yeah,
I was hitting
when we
keys.
were cleaning out the basement.
Yeah, that was like, but that was a knockoff of it, you know. But when I'm actually serious, if I should say, if I'm not serious, if I'm just doing it, it's actually not bad, you know. And I'm proud of myself when I do that. And I'm like, man, that was kind of good because I'm actually belting. I'm keeping the posture.
Yeah, because you're in your comfort.
Exactly.
Your comfort.
I'm
zone,
singing
you know
to I'm singing to a 4-year-old.
Exactly.
Yeah. She don't care. Dad, just stop. Just stop, Dad. But you taking them shots. That reminds me of when I used to play back when I was younger. I played in a group. We were like a death metal band, and there was this. His name was Bob. He was our guitarist, and
You talking about United by Hate?
yeah. And
the group that went skinhead.
yeah, me and shout out to good old Schwank.
Swank's a fellow podcaster too. He don't do podcasts, but he fucking loves podcasts.
Yeah, we'll have him on.
Oh, we'll definitely
have some fun. Yeah,
I was in a band with him for over a year, and then he ended up quitting the band. And then I ended up quitting the band shortly after. But hell yeah, dude, Swank's a good dude.
Right, and so Bob, he would get so hammered. I mean, he could rock out, but man, did he get sloppy. I would say there was 2 or 3 shows. I think it was in Pittsburgh. We almost completely turned him completely off. Like, he didn't even know. We just turned his amp off.
He probably just like,
you know, and we felt, I mean, he was good, but it was night. Well, Bob was cool. I mean, you know, that whole, what would that be called? Neo-Nazi. That was
For the record, Derek is not a racist by any means. It was like this singer guy, man, just putting it out there before anybody goes on and starts like bashing on us. Like, you guys are a bunch of racists. No, it's nothing like that.
It was just a band that they had their shit together, and I really wanted to play music. You know, it was a tremendous learning experience for me, and it was so much fun to be able to just play music, have fun, and make some new friends, because most of the other people in the band were really good. And then I had brought one of my best friends in, Schwank, Gary, and you know, so it was even more fun. But yeah, there was Bob had a knob on the back of his amp for volume. We just fucking turned it down to like 2.
Yep.
And then and the reason why we didn't, and it worked, because I would always play on Bob's side with the bass. Mm-hmm. You know, because I only played bass for them, even though like some of the songs that we were using, you know, I wrote on guitar. But it is what it is. But that was fun, you know. I miss playing out. But yeah, he would get so drunk.
See,
You know, we're loading up the trailer. He's just sitting around like drinking. Like, dude, you gotta like help.
Yeah, I can't do that, man. Like, the only time I can ever get sloppy ass drunk and do performance basically is like when I'm doing fucking karaoke, man. Like, I remember one time me and Skip were at this bar in an undisclosed location. we were fucking hammering down shots, dude. I think we were drinking like White Russian and shit, and like, I love White Russian. And I remember the first time I ever drank it is because of fucking Chris McCandless, the famous adventurer. You know, they did a movie about him, Into the Wild.
Alexander Supertramp.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and he fucking did that trip to Alaska and lived in that bus and everything. Well, his favorite drink was White Russian. So I'm like, all right, you know, I want to drink White Russian because I fucking love Chris McCandless, dude. He's a fucking badass.
Yes,
he was a badass. You know, God rest his soul. But fucking.
Some may say he was an idiot. There's a big movement to say he's an idiot now.
Really?
Yeah, because they're like, because he just went for it, and that's why, you know, you have to, that takes some balls.
Well, yeah, dude, and he did it for over 2 years, man, before, like, you know, he fell victimized to his own death. You know what I mean? But that wasn't his fault, because he got trapped out in Alaska where he was at, and he couldn't find no game to eat or anything like that, and he was just so hungry that he ate a plant that like was similar to this other plant, and it caused starvation.
Yeah,
and he just lost a bunch of weight, dude, and he ended up dying. You know?
Well, that's why they say he's an idiot, trying to go out there in fucking Siberia and trying to survive in something you don't even know, you know. Especially with
did it. He was out, they called it the magic bus.
Yeah, right.
And he did it for like at least a year, like, well, throughout the whole winter and like half of the spring and stuff. But then, like, you know, imagine this. Imagine being out there and he's trying to get home, but the creek bed that he crossed, it was
frozen over, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't even frozen over. It was just like the current was way too high. If he would have crossed over, man, he would have got pulled in. It explains it all in the book.
That's right.
And in the movie.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah, dude. But that's why he died, man, because he couldn't cross over because he was gonna leave, and then he ended up eating these plants that like were similar to a deadly plant. Like these, just it looked like it was supposed to be like a potato plant, or something like that, like a potato leaf. Potato plant, anything like that. I'm not sure exactly like the correct name on it, but he ate that, and yeah, it caused starvation, dude. And he ended up fucking losing all this weight, and they found him dead. Like a group of rare flower hunters are the ones who actually like they found him.
Yeah, they go out there every year. I remember that.
Something like that, or it might have been Hunters or something like that. But
I think it was, yeah.
Maybe in Hunters or like Flower Hunters or something like that.
Well, it's like right off of a trail.
No, that's what it was. It was Hunters. A group of rare flower hunters are the ones who found his car abandoned in the desert whenever like he lost his car in that flash
that's
flood.
Incredible.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And he survived that, dude. And that was like 2 years like prior to the Magic Bus story. You know what I mean?
I mean, but in that moment too, you can survive that. You're so on edge and your senses are going crazy. Oh, exactly. You could probably run 40 miles an hour.
That's what I'm saying.
He
didn't take no drugs. He didn't do nothing like that, man. He was really intelligent too. But he was drinking. He drank White Russian. You know what I mean? And now back to the story about me and Skip.
Sorry.
No, we're good. See, and that's good. That's good content. You know what I'm saying? And it's always good.
That's what we do.
Especially, because I do that a lot. Like, if I'm having a conversation, dude, I have like 20 million other things that I got to explain first before I get back to the main topic at hand.
Well, yeah, that's how my brain works. There's 20 conversations going on in my head.
It's the drugs, man.
But in the words of Alex Jones, but I digress.
Gay frogs. But no, we were smashing down this White Russian, and I didn't understand why I was getting me so fucking drunk, dude. And I was like, damn. It's like I've been drinking this White Russian all night, and I'm fucking hammered. Turns out they put vodka in this shit, and like I can't drink vodka. Any clear liquor, man, just makes me black out.
Whoa.
Yeah, dude. But I remember at some point in the night, we were singing "Lodi" by fucking Creedence Clearwater Revival, CCR, and that's like one of my favorite songs. And we're sitting there belting this out, man. And I remember this, too. Like, in my mind, I'm thinking, like, dude, we sound great. You know what I mean? Because I'm not to toot my own horn or anything like that. But I think I'm a fair musician.
You're a singer.
I put a lot of time into that, man. Like, at least 16 years investing into playing music and everything like that. So I deserve that title. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
It's nothing like egotistical or anything like that. You know,
it's hard work.
Yeah, hard work, dedication, and something I'm proud of.
Like when I play in front of people, they go, hey, you're good, and I go, well, duh, I've been doing it for 10 years.
Exactly.
You know, like
I mean, it's nothing to be egotistical.
You're not gonna pick it up and be that good,
Exactly. But like, I remember just belting the song out, dude, and thinking like, oh man, we sounded great. But then a buddy of ours came up. I can't even remember who it was. He's like, man, you guys sounded like shit. It's like, yeah, maybe we did, but it's okay, because it's just karaoke. It's not like I'm playing at the fucking, like the Forum or something like that, or the Hollywood Bowl, or even if that fucking exists still, you know what I mean? It's like, it's not like a major fucking show.
The Hollywood Bowl.
Now, when it comes back to that, like, I won't get drunk when I'm actually doing a serious show. Now, if I'm doing like a local bar gig or something like that, and we're just playing around doing covers and stuff like that, I'll sip on beer. I won't pound shots down. But before, like when I opened up for Puddle of Mud and Hinder and like Scott Stapp, like every single one of them shows, well, with the exceptions of Puddle of Mud, because that was my first national act, I did pound down beer, and I had to catch a buzz before I got on stage because I was nervous. I never opened up for a national act like that before.
Yeah, right.
But then like Hinder and then Scott Stapp and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Like, I just, take a couple shots here, you know what I mean? Feel a little good, open up the fucking vocal cords a little bit, and just go out and do my thing. But I've never gotten sloppy ass wasted before I ever did a show because like when I get sloppy, man, I get sloppy. I'm just like, I mean, I would think that I sound good, but it goes back to that Lodi thing where it's like, I thought I sounded good, but I actually sounded like shit. Right. But I remember one time, though, and this is funny. Mind you guys, I'm not a drug addict or anything like that, but I was about, I'm going to say roughly around the age, I was like 21.
Yeah, most of these drug stories are from back in the day.
Yeah, exactly. I was 21 years old, and I remember I was hanging out at Skip's house in an undisclosed location, and we popped a bunch of these Xanax, dude. And it was like a couple bars worth, you know what I mean? I guess bars are supposed to be like, the heavy duty ones, you know what I mean? But like they weren't the actual like bars that we were taking. It was they were like the little orange ones or whatever, but the equivalency of how many that we took equaled out to about like 2.5, 3 bars. And dude, I was fucked up. And I ended up like fading out on his floor. And I remember because that same day we went to Wheeling because Skip had a fine to pay. We went to Wheeling in an undisclosed location because he had this fine that he had to pay. I'm not going to mention anything like that because that's his personal business, you know what I mean? But he had a fine to pay. And we had to go down there, so we went down to the county clerk's office down there in Wheeling, and we were paying his fine. And we walk past, and we see like 4 big ass trash bags filled with this like shredded paper, you know, like that, like they feed all the documents and everything, like the shit that they don't need. And we're like, hey, what do you guys do with this? And they're like throwing it away. We're like, we're taking it. They're like, okay. So we took this random bags of shredded paper and just shoved it in his trunk. I actually have pictures of it, like on my old Facebook account and everything too. But he took bags of these shredded paper, man. We shoved it in the trunk, and we had no idea what we were gonna use this for, man. We just did it like for like shock factor, like we just thought it'd be funny, you know what I mean? And I end up passing out on this floor, and next thing I know, I wake up, like, you know, because I'm all fucked up, and I have a show to do in like an hour. I wake up, and it's all dark, dude, and I fucking jump up, skipped up this whole mound of fucking shredded paper on top of me, and then I fucking jumped up and started snapping out, and I fucking...
Oh my god.
It was just this big-ass mound, fucking like, I don't know, like, maybe like a foot off the ground, it seems like. Maybe not, I'm probably exaggerating a little bit. But it was like covered. It was covered on his floor.
Oh, you used to have like 4 bags full.
Oh, yeah, dude. It was
Wow.
fucking covered, dude. It was probably more than 4 bags. I can't really remember. Like 4 to 6 bags. And, he had pictures of that, too. Like, you know, we have, them little, not Polaroid cameras, but the ones, you know, you get
Disposable?
the film developed. Yeah, you get the film developed. But, he has
Technically, Polaroid makes those, I think.
Yeah, I think so. But
now we got Chinese knockoffs.
Exactly. But he has pictures of that. Like, you see this big mound of shredded paper, but I'm actually underneath this mound of shredded paper. You can't even see me at all. But I remember, dude, like, I fucking wake up, snap out, spread all this paper all over his fucking living room floor, and I'm like, all right, man, I gotta go play a show. It was at this bar, same bar that we did the Lodi thing at. You know what I mean? Because actually my aunt had owned the bar at the time, and she owned this bar for about 5 years. Which I ended up actually coincidentally a couple years later, you know, it was actually, I would say last year, I was a cook in this fucking place. But that's irrelevant to this topic. I go do the show. I didn't even help him clean up the shredded paper. I kind of felt like a dick afterwards. But he cleaned it up because his mom was going to be home soon. He was living with his mom at the time, you know what I mean? And, because he was only like 18, you know, he was still young, so he's still living at home with his mom, you know what I mean? He had just graduated from high school and all that shit, you know what I mean? And I've been friends with him for a long time, so have you, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Wow.
But I go and do the show, and I remember being so fucked up, and I guess you can't drink while you're on, like, Xanax and stuff like that, because,
really?
like, yeah, you can't. Like, every time that I've ever done it, man, like, bad shit had happened. But I remember I had a few bucks on me, and I wanted to drink. And I remember my cousin being like, well, dude, you're on Xanax, man. Like, if you drink, especially liquor, you're going to get fucked up and black out, and that could possibly kill you. I was like, fuck it. And I started pounding down shots of Jaeger, dude. And that's a no-no, because even fucking, like, if I'm not on anything, like, just sober, and I start pounding down Jaeger, man, it fucking blacks me out. And, dude, I just remember, like, it's like, you know, I'm taking the shots, I'm getting ready to set up, and then everything went blank from the fucking rest of that night, dude. Like, I had no recollection still to this day, just from what people tell me. Like, I remember seeing pictures, like, me all fucked up, like, I was like a fucking, like, my face was all, like, half cocked and shit, like, yeah. I looked like I had a fucking stroke, man. I was that fucked up.
Wow.
But I guess, like, I asked everybody, I was like, how was the show? Because I was thinking, since I was so fucked up, man, like, I was nervous that I, like, butchered it.
Wow.
I didn't butcher it, though. Everyone was like, dude, that was, like, the best performance you've ever did. Like, best performance I've ever seen you do. I'm like, hell yeah. So, at least I didn't totally bomb at the show. Well, I guess from what people say, I didn't bomb at all. But I don't remember that show. There's pictures of it. I actually have pictures from that show of me playing and everything, but I don't fucking remember what had happened at all. I was so fucked up. Like, a couple things happened that night, I guess. Like, there was this fat chick, dude, that was all into me. There was this fat chick that was all into me. She, like, wanted to take me home, and I was, like, down for it. Then my cousin was like, don't do it, man, don't do it. He's like, you're going to my house. Yeah, he's like, no. Oh, yeah, dude. Oh, my God. And I'm glad I didn't, because he saved me from that, because this bitch is nasty, dude. She's fucking disgusting. But, yeah, he ended up taking me home, and, well, I ended up going home with him, I mean, and just, that whole entire night, dude, is just a complete fucking blur, dude. And my mom was at that fucking show, too. Oh, my God, man. Oh, shit. I was so fucked up. And I don't like doing shit like that no more, man, because, like I'm that type of person, like, if I take, like, a like an ibuprofen, man. I'm like skittish of fucking drinking on top of it now. It's just like so many bad things happen whenever fucking like pills and fucking alcohol were involved, man. Like so
That's
many
true.
weird things.
You know, you find Mr. McDevitt dead at the age of 26. Like, fuck. Like, I wouldn't know. There'd be so many questions. Like, really? Because you wouldn't want that to happen.
Hell no, man. That's why I don't do drugs no more.
Right.
It's like, I guess
you've walked the line a little too close.
Oh, yeah, dude. I've fucking definitely danced with the devil a few times, man. Was staring death in the face. I'm pretty sure I came close to, like, a few times, man, to having fucking alcohol poisoning, man. From the time I was, like, 16 and on, dude, I would fucking party out. Like, remember the house that I had? That little fucking party house? Like,
we had fun.
Man. Oh, yeah, all the time, dude. But I remember for, like, 8 months straight, dude, we were fucking just... And I don't know how we did it, but we managed to get fucking a couple cases, like, because we would just invite people over, man. It's like, okay, contribute to the funds, man. Let's get fucking drunk. You just got to clean my house the next day, like, pitch in. But I remember we get so fucking hammered, play beer pong all night, just fucking punch holes in the wall and shit, you know what I mean? Like, my mom was living with us at the time, and I'm just like, I felt so bad because eventually she, like, I gotta go, man. You guys are too fucking nutty for me. And then she leaves, and then the fucking cops end up coming and shit, and fucking kicking in the doors and raiding the house and everything. I got people thinking I'm a snitch because I got fucking junkies living in my basement and shit, and I'm just like, I didn't fucking say nothing. They came and interrogated me, and I just said, yeah, come search my fucking house because it's my house. I don't give a shit. Right. Like, if you find anything, that's on you, you know?
Right, if you find anything, let me know where I lost it.
Exactly. See, but I wasn't doing fucking drugs like that at the time. Yeah, right. I was before fucking I ever got into, like, doing heroin and all that fucking crazy shit. Like, and I don't really consider myself, like,
I wouldn't never.
Like a fucking drug addict or anything like that because, you know, you got people that, like, shoot up heroin and all that shit. But I've only ever fucking snorted the junk, you know what I mean? But I know a lot of people that fall and have fell into that shit. It's just fucked up, dude. It causes the epidemic around this town so fucking bad, man. It's just such a bad epidemic. And, I mean, it's just, it's whatever, man. If you're going to fucking be dumb enough to do drugs like that, especially, like, if you get clean, like, because a lot of these people, and this is how it happens, too, it's like a vicious cycle. And I've seen this happen to quite a few people. They'll fucking get arrested for drugs. And then they'll go to prison for, like, a couple years, man, and they'll come out thinking that their tolerance is so high. I'm on top of the fucking world, fire down a bag of heroin. Next thing you know, fucking we're hearing on Facebook and the news, they're fucking dead. It's just like, hey, man, listen, like, I feel bad, but that's your own fucking stupidity. You brought that upon yourself.
Why would you come out and go back to it? You know?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. If you've been clean for so fucking long, dude, like, I mean, why subject yourself to that fucking torture again? And that's, like, another thing, too, with these people saying, like, oh, well, addiction is a disease. It's not a fucking disease, dude. It's a choice, man.
Oh, yeah.
I think after a while, like, the mental state could possibly, like, lead to, like, a fucking mental illness, you know what I mean? But the addiction itself and, like, to me, it's like a satire thing. It's nothing there. You know what I mean? Like, you chose to fucking stick a needle in your fucking arm. You chose to do this and you chose to do that. You know what I mean? And that's where a lot of people fucking get into that heavy debate about shit, and then it causes the fucking argument.
It's just really weird. Most of that, you know, all stems from the pills too. You know, especially in this area. Like the pills are what kick that whole thing off, and then when they can't get the pills, they go to the easier, cheaper thing to get.
Oh yeah,
and that's what's weird. Like a friend told me the other day, she's telling me, you know, her whole story, but you know, she was doing heroin for what she say, like weeks or something like that, maybe even months, and she didn't even know it was that. You know, she because it was being fed to her like, oh, I like this, and she needed it every day, and at work, like she didn't need it, but man, you know, give her that pep in her step. Oh, here we go.
Well, dude, they got these pill presses out now, man. I know somebody. I'm not going to mention their name or anything like that, man. They were getting
an undisclosed name from an undisclosed location.
Exactly. I'm not going to mention who it was, but they were getting these things that were supposed to be like Percocet, but I guess like turns out, months down the road, like they found out that it was like fentanyl or some shit.
Whoa.
Yeah. That's why I don't deal with them fucking drugs, man. Like just earlier, like I'm not gonna mention the name, undisclosed name from an undisclosed location, but I get a message on Facebook. He's like,
oh god.
He's like, hey TJ, and I'm like, what do you need? He's like, you know anyone who needs hardware? I was like, hardware? What is that? Like some like drug slang or something? I was like, I'm not following you.
Dude, what, you got microphones?
Exactly.
Like hey, we're starting this podcast.
We're starting a podcast, man. So I'm thinking like I'm confused. Like I don't know
if
he's talking about drugs or if he's talking about like because I know this guy does drugs, so maybe I'm thinking like, oh, he probably fucking stole some shit and he's trying to sell it to me, you know what I mean? Because like I just posted about the podcast, and he's like, you know anyone who needs some hardware? Like, is that drug slang or like what are you talking about, brother? I'm not following you. It's crack, bro. I was like, nope, I'm good, man. I was like, I don't do that, and I don't associate myself with anybody who does do that. Like, oh my god, man. Only in this fucking town will you get that. Like, I get shit like that all the fucking time, man. Like, I swear, it's funny. Like, just yesterday, there was this chick that messaged me, and just out of nowhere, she was like, you gotta pay for this ass, and I'm like. I was like, well, I don't want to have to pay. I was like, can we just fucking skip that part? She's like, oh, I'm so sorry. That was a joke to somebody else. And I'm like, you're good. No worries. And like me and Skip were talking. He's like, man, he's like, that happens to you a lot, man. He's like, it's fucking weird. He's like I often sometimes think like, is it on purpose? Because there's this chick that I was talking to, you know, just like a mutual friend. And I'm not going to mention her name at all or anything like that, you know. Undisclosed name from an undisclosed location. We used to bullshit periodically. And I'd send her a message on Snapchat because I think this girl's pretty cute, man. So I'm like, you know, trying to get to know this broad. Like, oh, man, she's really cute. She's into the same things I am, you know what I mean? Like, hey, what's up? You know, like, let's try to hook up, you know what I mean? But I don't think she's into me because, you know, I am a fugly motherfucker, but I don't care because, you know, my pecker makes up for that and my guitar playing. So, anyways.
Only a mother could love that face.
Exactly. I got a big-ass fucking scruffy beard wearing scully caps. My teeth are all fucked up and I got a lazy eye. But, hey, it's all good. It's all good. I'm like Johnny Rotten from the Sex Pistols. But
maybe all those negatives, though, because you get pretty lucky with some ladies.
Oh, I know. That's
maybe all the negatives turn into positives, you know?
Well, it's
like they cancel each other out.
It's all the personality, man. It's like the strong
true.
personality and everything. But I was talking to this chick, though. And I had messaged her on Snapchat. And I was like, hey. And, like, this is my famous line because I can cook like a motherfucker. You know what I mean? I've been cooking for a long time. And I was like, hey. I was like, when we going to hang out? When you going to let me cook you a good dinner? And she's like, well, why do you want to do that? And I was like, well, because you're a single mom. You know what I mean? You're doing it all yourself. I was like, I think you kind of deserve it. Next thing I get is like a random nude from this chick.
Oh, damn.
And I was like, whoa, I was confused. I was like, I messaged her back. I was like, that's not that I'm complaining or anything like that, but that's a little random, but I give you 2 thumbs up, you know what I mean? Because she looked good naked, dude. I'm not even going to lie.
Wow.
She looked really fucking good naked. She's a fucking sexy broad, man. She's in like all this yoga and all that stuff, you know what I mean? Like, oh, yeah. But,
that's
like,
awesome.
she never said nothing back to it. And then the next day, like, it's still wrapped around my brain. I'm like, why the hell did she do this? But I remember a prior conversation that we had, like, months before that about all these random guys that would hit her up and, like, ignore her. And she's like, they only, like, basically want one thing, you know what I mean? Like, because, you know, you got all these guys that send random dick pics and all that stuff like that. And she was like, well, maybe I should be that chick that starts sending random nudes. It's like, maybe that'll throw them off. And it's like, that's basically, like, probably what they're hitting me up for. So she's like, maybe I'll just do that. So I figured maybe at first, like, what if she's just sending me this nude so I'll leave her the fuck alone? But it's like, I didn't want that, you know what I mean? Maybe
that's a good way to look at that.
Maybe
I would have never thought that.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. And I kind of formulated that idea in my head and was told her, like, this is how you should do it, you know what I mean? And I thought that's maybe why she did it, because, like, we were the ones that fucking were talking about it. And I told her, like, hey, just do this, you know what I mean? I'm like, yeah. And I messaged her and asked her, I'm like, listen, I'm not complaining. Like I said, I'm not complaining.
Like, I'm just letting you know I loved it, but...
I was like, but, like, why did you send me that picture last night? I am so confused. It's just like, she opened the message, and it took her a minute to reply, and then she ended up sending me a message. And then I opened it up, and
tell me it was more nudes.
Fucking, no, it wasn't more nudes. I
wish.
That'd be
hilarious.
I wish.
Picture of her feet.
I wish.
Random.
I wish, but, like, it was this big, long-ass message, dude, where it says, listen, man, like, because Pittsburgh Steelers were in the playoffs for the Super Bowl, and they ended up losing the game. I don't even know who the fuck it was against, because I'm not really into football. I'm more of a hockey fan. But she was like, you know, the Steelers lost. I got bumped out of the playoffs, so I was, like, aggravated, and I just got really fucking wasted. And your name was like underneath my boyfriend's name, and I was thinking I was sending this picture to my boyfriend, but then, you know, I sent it to you, and once I realized that picture was sent to you, I was like, fuck, there's no turning back now. So she's like, I was embarrassed, I didn't say nothing.
It never happened.
Well, yeah, technically, because they self-destruct the messages after like 10 seconds, so technically it didn't happen, you know what I mean? That's why I'm not even name dropping this girl, just for future references in case, you know, I ever get lucky, you know, which I probably won't, but I'm just saying, you know, you never know.
Just
stranger
saying,
things have occurred.
Just saying, hey, you could send more of those if you want.
Oh, she could, and if she happens to listen to this, she's
just like
know.
Send one his way, send one my way. I'll leave you alone.
If she hears this podcast, and like I don't know if she would or not, but if she hears this podcast, she's gonna know right off the bat it was her and who I'm talking about.
That's a joint podcast right there.
But you know what I mean? She was like, I appreciate you not screenshotting me or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't do that because, like, for one, you know, I'm not talking to her, nor was I talking to her like that. I was trying to, but she doesn't seem interested or anything like that. And she got her own shit going on. But, yeah, you know what I mean? I'm not that type of guy. Like, if I was talking to her or if she was, like, my girlfriend or something, then hell yeah, I want to screenshot it. That's free wank material, man, for when the internet kicks out. God, I wish I could have fucking saved it. You know what I mean? I was going back, seeing if I could find...
That would have been even more weird.
I was going back to see if I could find the old messages, and they weren't there. I'm like, shit!
Can you save that?
You could save that.
Well, not like screenshot, but
you could screenshot it, but like she would be notified about it. But I guess there's a loophole into this. I guess, like, if somebody sent you a picture, you like turn your data off or your like Wi-Fi or anything that you're getting the internet through.
That's actually
you turn it off, and then you open the message and then screenshot it. And I guess it doesn't notify them that you're screenshotting this. But I remember me and my cousin had tried this. We tried this before to see if it actually worked. But he turned the internet off and everything like that. Bada bam, he did that, and it still notified me once he turned his data on and shit that he screenshotted me. So I don't know. There's some weird loopholes in the Snapchat.
There's always loopholes.
And you can always retrieve messages too. Like, if you retrieve messages, the best way to do that is like you can go in there and you can save your message. Then you can just go back and see that. Like, there's a couple chicks that I talk to, like, you know what I mean? And like, well, not talking to now, but like I still have like a bunch of nudes because I'll go on Facebook and I'll post my thing like my snap information is like, yo, snap me a picture of the beaver, let's snap me some nudes. Like I'm upfront about it, you know what I mean? And it's like, bam, dude, I remember one time I did it, like 5 chicks, dude, they fucking send me nudes and shit, man. Wow. It's like really, really good looking women too.
That's the only enticing thing about Facebook. I've been Facebook free for like 6 years.
I know, and it's so boring without you, man. That's what's fucked up.
I know. And it's boring without it too. I feel out of the loop, but I'll tell you one thing. You know who your friends are. When you get rid of Facebook, you know who your friends are. I'll tell you that. I mean it.
Exactly. We were still in contact, other than the fact that we had our own family and we were doing the family thing, both of us, like, you know what I mean?
Oh, and
like, we wouldn't talk that much, but we still talk, and we were still
as soon
friends.
As I got rid of that, though, I was not hanging out with, like, a lot of people at all. And the only reason that I was hanging out with these people was because of Facebook.
Oh, exactly.
Like, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Blah, 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 blah.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's probably only, like, maybe a few chicks throughout my life that I've actually met outside of Facebook. Like, and those chicks that I met outside of Facebook are the ones that I've had long relationships with. Like,
yeah, right.
Like, I have 2 baby mamas. We both know that. And the second baby mama was my longest relationship when we just actually split up like almost a year ago. And fucking
that you know of.
Well, no, yeah.
I'm just saying, baby mamas.
Kinda. Oh, yeah, exactly. But right now, as it stands, I have
legally
two baby mamas. But the second baby mama, I was with her for 4 years. And that was a long time. And then we ended up splitting up and going through all this bullshit. And then she ended up pregnant. And then now I have my second daughter, which is my 4th kid. And she's dating some jagoff, you know what I mean? He's like, thinks he's like fucking Billy Badass and stuff like that. But I had to put him in his place quite a few times. And he's just a little punk. But hey. that's besides the point. But
do what you gotta do. Especially when it comes to your kids.
It was the day of the Tool show. It was the day we went and seen Tool.
Oh, that's right.
I broke up with her that day because she made me late coming to your house to go to the show. You know what I mean? And like, I don't want to sound like an asshole because my girlfriend made me late for like one of my favorite bands I was going to see, which I ended up not even being late. We made good timing, but you know, I didn't want to take any chances.
It was just, we didn't want to rush. You know?
Exactly.
Like, I'm always in a rush.
Which there was always like an opening band. There was an opening band at that show too, which that was cool. You know what I mean? But like, I didn't know how the show was going to go and everything like that. And you funded the whole thing. You know what I mean? Right. So I didn't want to.
I was trying to take Debnar, but Debnar couldn't go.
I worked, man. And
like, who would have ever thought in their right mind that Debnar would not be able to go to a Tool show for free?
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, no, and I thought he was going to pay. I don't remember.
But... Hey, at least he made it to Perfect Circle though.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? And like, I remember you were like, I didn't have the money to go, and you were like, you know what? I'll just cover it. And then you can go. But I got that message like 2 days later, and I was like, motherfucker, man. I was so pissed off, dude. I remember that.
Oh, the Perfect Circle one, too?
Yeah.
Damn.
But, like, now coming back into the girlfriend thing, like, it's because she was like, I think she was cheating on me and shit like that. She would go out on the road and do, like, these things for the budget trucks and stuff, you know, the moving company. And she would go to places like Philadelphia and...
Philadelphia?
Yeah, and, like, New York and just all...
Let's try that again.
Philadelphia.
What? Why do you say Philadelphia?
What?
Maybe, unless I'm wrong here. That's all right.
Philadelphia? All right. Like, what do you mean?
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
Whoa. All right.
Dude, I've always said it like that.
Are you kidding me?
I swear to God.
Wow.
Or Philly, for short, you know what I mean?
You just blew my mind. I've never heard you say Philadelphia ever in my life.
Philadelphia.
But okay, that just blew my mind. I've never heard you say the word Philadelphia in my life, and you came through with Philadelphia. That just blew my mind.
Why? Because I'm the type of person that uses a lot of slang words and stuff like that. Is that what you mean? Like,
no, just I've never. People are gonna go, what? Who says Philadelphia? Just saying, keep it. It's you.
That's how I say it. I can't say it any other way. Like, what do you mean? Like Philadelphia or Philadelphia or Philly?
It's Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
But you're
Is that how you say it?
Yeah,
that's how Philadelphia.
Oh my God! All right.
Yes.
Cool Whip.
That's
some Cool Whip shit.
My grandma says stuff like warsh and wrestling and tinfoil and oral and like it's like oral. You mean oil?
We say we're a couple hoobies. We're from West Virginia. I was born and raised in Ohio until I was about 8. Moved up here to West Virginia. But, man, you'll hear us say some weird things.
I mean, we're 45 minutes out from downtown Pittsburgh, so we're in the upper northern panhandle of West Virginia, mind you.
Yeah, so I kind of always say it like this. We're half the people here are either like Pittsburgh's rejects because it's easy living, or we're like Texas's slow cousin. Exactly. Like our bill and their bill is a little different.
I tell you what. I you some bitch get out my daggone yard there. I'm gonna stick a stick up your ass and I'm gonna hit you with this 12-gauge shotgun there, son.
Jeez.
Nah, but
I already forget what we're talking about. Sorry.
I know exactly what we're talking about. We're going back to the girlfriend thing.
Oh yeah.
So we split up in June, the day of the Tool show, and and she ends up getting what's the Tool show in June? Yeah, because she ended up getting with this guy on like. That was like right before it would have been our 4th year anniversary. She ended up getting with a guy, and they're still together. He's a pod whacker, like I said, man. And like,
I wonder what kind of music he listens to.
Oh, he listens to like that tractor rap and shit like that.
Tractor rap. I've never heard that term before.
Up Church the Redneck, which I like. I like Up Church. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. I do. I do. Awesome. Like he's got some good songs, man. I'm actually subscribed to his page on YouTube and everything like that.
The Trap House has a barn.
Yeah, they're fucking they're hustling fucking hay bales and all that stupid shit. Oh my God.
We say pop, get that. So
pop, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So just if you're listening to episode 1 here, we say pop. We don't say soda pop. We don't say soda. We might say soda sometimes.
I say soda every now and again.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? But it's just depending on how.
It's like soda's more descriptive.
It is very. Yeah, exactly.
Like when I hear the word soda, I think of like bubbly thing. But when I say pop, I'm like, it's just fucking the can. Like, I don't think of it like that. But when I hear soda, I instantly think of like almost like a sparkling thing.
Yeah, but everybody's all like, it's like one of them things. It's like, oh no, it's soda. It's like no, it's pop. But it's like it's soda pop.
Yeah.
a soda pop. You know what I mean? Because you pop that tab and it gives it that fizziness. The fizziness gives it that pop and that taste. You know, it gives it that pop. You know what I mean? So you know,
Wow,
people down
that was
south
super descriptive. Jesus.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And people down south call it soda, and up here in the north we call it pop. You know what I mean? It's different variations of the name. Like we say one half of that name. Like think about this, okay? So you got the south, and then you got the north, divided, you know, by the Mason-Dixon line, an individual like not in,
Wow.
invisible line, you know, and you got the words soda, pop.
Yep.
One side of that soda, the other side of that's pop. Think about it. You know what I mean? It's just a divided name. You know what I mean? It's just because we're divided. So one half says this, and we're saying to the other half.
Yeah. What
Like
other
a dual
what other
purpose
words
almost.
do we say around here that most people don't?
Well, I know up in Pennsylvania and stuff like that, which is close to us, they say like yins.
Yeah.
My dad says it a
Pittsburgh.
lot, and he's not even from there. But my dad says yins a lot, but he's from Lisbon, Ohio. So I don't know if that's a thing out there or not. I'm not sure.
It's pretty much like, I would say, if you take WVU at Morgantown and you draw a line across the map against that grain in our area, y'all is from there down. Yins is more up here, from here
See,
up.
yeah, we're just
Because that's why I'm a weird breed. I come from an hour and a half south. I grew up in the country in Marietta, Ohio. So I'm a mixed breed. Sometimes I might say yins. Sometimes I say y'all.
Oh, exactly.
It's kind of weird.
I've never said yins, and like I grew up with my dad saying that. Yeah, but this is what's weird. It's because we're neither above nor below the Mason-Dixon line, man. It's like because where we sit at, it's like, well, I guess technically we'd be what below that, right?
Hell, I don't know.
I'm not even too sure, but you know what I mean. Like basically, it's just an imaginary line, but either I think
It's an undisclosed line location.
exactly. It's so hard to explain. We're the most northern southern state. Like it's just weird how it goes.
Northern southern state. That's a true statement.
Oh, yeah,
it
it's
sounds
very
weird,
true,
but
yeah.
it's true.
But yeah, we've actually been doing a lot of talking, so we're actually going to cut this short, and definitely we're going to be doing this a lot more, so definitely stay tuned because we're going to be bringing in some special guests and stuff like that, and we're going to be getting more sponsors, except for coffee, because coffee's already our sponsor.
Yeah.
But we're not going to tell you exactly the name of the coffee because if we do, then that's a watermark thing. And we could probably get sued until we actually get sponsored.
Sued.
Well, we can't. Okay. We're drinking Folgers coffee.
Yeah, because only men drink Folgers. God damn it.
Exactly. My name's CJ McDevitt,
I'm Derek Parsons.
and you're listening to Bad Table Manners.